There are nights that change your life, not because you expect them to, but precisely because you don't. This was one of those nights, a hidden moment in Nashville, a city where music seeps up from the sidewalks and stardom can sometimes walk through a side door unnoticed. It started as a charity event for Tight End University, an NFL initiative founded by San Francisco 49ers George Kittle, Kansas City Chiefs Travis Kelce, and former Panther Greg Olsen. The idea was simple: bring football players together, raise money, and maybe share a few laughs. But as the sun set over Tennessee, no one in the room realized they were about to become part of music history. George Kittle, known to fans as KD, arrived early, his mind divided between the logistics of hosting and the thrill of performing. The crowd was a blend of NFL stars, die-hard fans, and Nashville locals. The energy in the air was already buzzing, but KD had no idea that the night would soon take on a life of its own. When someone asked him about his favorite Taylor Swift song, he didn't hesitate. "So High School," he replied, though he admitted he'd been singing Blank Space Moments before. It was a throwaway moment in a busy evening, but it hinted at the soundtrack running through his head. Jordan Davis had already delivered a set that left the crowd energized. The event was humming along. And then, somewhere backstage, the mood shifted. No one expected Taylor Swift to walk in. Not at an NFL charity event. Not on a hot Nashville night. Not when she could be anywhere else in the world. But there she was, casual, approachable, and smiling. The production crew barely had time to process her presence before she was shaking hands and thanking people by name. Kittle remembers her kindness immediately. She wasn't there to steal the spotlight. She seemed genuinely excited to support the cause and mingle with the football crowd. It was as if performing for a room of NFL players was just another Friday night. That's when Swift leaned in and, with a glint in her eye, suggested something that would send the room into a frenzy. What if I sang Shake It Off? The organizers, stunned by her offer, could barely contain their excitement. Twist my arm, Taylor, please, one joked, still not quite believing their luck. In a matter of minutes, the plan was set. The only thing left was to make sure the sound and lighting were perfect for a once-in-a-lifetime performance. Inside the venue, the crowd had no idea what was brewing backstage. Laughter and conversation filled the air. The mood was high, but nothing could have prepared them for what was about to happen. Then, without warning, the lights changed. A familiar figure walked onto the stage. The reaction was instant: screams, cheers, and a wave of disbelief swept through the room. 1,000 people, but it sounded like a stadium. Kittle would later say it was the loudest crowd he'd ever heard. For a venue that size, it was just insane, he recounted. Everyone lost their minds. Swift took the mic with the easy confidence of someone who belongs on stage, but what struck everyone, even the hardened NFL stars, was how fully she gave herself to the moment. There was no going through the motions, no diva behavior. She sang as if she was headlining a sold-out arena, not an impromptu set for a charity event. Each lyric of Shake It Off bounced off the walls, echoing above the crowd singing and dancing. What made the performance so unforgettable wasn't just Swift's star power, but the genuine joy she brought with her. She looked every fan in the eye, smiled at the crew, and thanked the organizers. For those few minutes, she turned a football fundraiser into the hottest ticket in Nashville. Imagine being part of that 1,000-person crowd, realizing halfway through a song that you'd be talking about this night for the rest of your life. And yet, as the final notes rang out and the applause threatened to shake the roof, it was clear this was about more than music. Swift's participation brought a new spotlight to the charity's mission, amplifying its message and drawing new supporters. For Kittle, Kelce, Olsen, and everyone involved, it was a moment when celebrity and cause aligned perfectly. After the set, Swift didn't vanish into a waiting limousine or retreat to a VIP area. Instead, she stayed, talking to the crew, thanking the sound engineers, and posing for pictures with the NFL players. Kittle was struck by her humility, how she took time to speak with everyone, regardless of their role. It's one thing to be a superstar on stage, but quite another to show such genuine kindness behind the scenes. For Kittle, this was proof that Swift's reputation for being generous and down-to-earth was more than just PR spin. The event rippled outwards almost instantly. Social media exploded with videos and blurry photos. Fans shared their disbelief and delight, while headlines across the country celebrated the surprise appearance. Yet, for those who were there, the real story was the way Swift made them feel, like they were part of something rare and unscripted. There's a reason why stories like this capture our imagination. In an age where every moment seems curated and predictable, genuine surprise is rare. Swift's appearance was unscheduled, unrehearsed, and unrepeatable. It reminded everyone in the room why live music matters, because when the right artist meets the right crowd at the right moment, something transcendent happens. For Kittle, the experience was almost surreal. "It felt like something out of a movie," he later said, struggling to put the feeling into words. Yet, as extraordinary as it was, the night was also deeply human. Swift wasn't just a pop star, she was a person, lending her voice to a cause, connecting with fans and strangers alike. In the days that followed, the story took on a life of its own. Clips of the performance racked up millions of views online. Fans from both the NFL and Swift's massive following praised the collaboration, while the charity saw a spike in donations and interest. Swift's willingness to use her platform for good was widely celebrated, and Kittle's heartfelt account of her generosity only added to her legend. But perhaps the most lasting impact was the way the event brought people together. For one night, the lines between celebrity and fan, athlete and artist, blurred. Everyone in the room was united by the sheer joy of the moment, a reminder that sometimes the best memories are the ones you never planned for. It's easy to assume that celebrities live in a world apart, surrounded by security and insulated from everyday life. But Swift's Nashville appearance proved otherwise. She showed up, not for a paycheck or press, but because she wanted to help. She sang her heart out, not for a global audience, but for 1,000 fans and a cause she believed in. And in doing so, she created a memory that would ripple through lives far beyond that single night. For Kittle, the lesson was simple. Sometimes, the most meaningful moments are the ones you can't orchestrate. Sometimes, you just have to say yes to possibility, to the wild idea that Taylor Swift might walk on stage and sing your favorite song. As the crowd filed out into the warm Nashville night, still buzzing from the shock, there was a palpable sense of magic in the air. People hugged, laughed, and tried to capture the moment on their phones, knowing that nothing could truly do it justice. For everyone who witnessed it, the night became a story to share, a reminder that life's most extraordinary chapters are often the ones you never see coming. And in a world hungry for authenticity, that's the kind of story worth telling. Because sometimes, beneath the surface of even the most glamorous events, you'll find the simple, unforgettable magic of a star who just wanted to sing, and a crowd that will never forget it.